You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Natasha Avincent. Joining us from Airdrie, Alberta, Canada, owner at Principality Life Coaching, it's Amara Prince. How you doing today, Amara?
I'm doing really good, thank you.
Why don't we recap a little bit about what we discussed last time so our new listeners can pick up where we left off?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am a health and life coach, and I am here to support individuals who feel stuck in life and experience unhealthy relationships with themselves and others so they can shift into a life of well-being, live confidently, become empowered, and shine once more in their lives. So I work on helping them with their goals and just really getting clarity on what they want in their life and in their career, in their health, any of those kind of things. Last time we did this radio show, we talked about setting a theme word for 2021 and how to do that to help you have a really good, successful year. And so today I thought it would be great to kind of move on to the next level of that for those who are business owners and talk about how to polish their business up for 2021. There have been so many changes with COVID, and a lot of businesses have had to either shut their doors, try to go online, all that kind of stuff. And so it's a great opportunity for us as business owners to take a look at our business and polish it up, shift it, change it and adapt as needed so that we can succeed in this next year. So that's what I would love to talk about today.
Yes, 2021 is approaching at the end of this week, so it's so close. A lot of people are making resolutions and trying to adapt. I know it's different in Canada as it is in New York. Mm-hmm. So is there like a branding checklist you'd like to discuss on how these businesses can adapt?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we go through and polish up your business, it's good to do what I call just an audit for your brand. And so I kind of have an internal evaluation that I like to do. And so that's checking your mission. It's looking at your vision statement. What's your audience and your offer? And then doing an external evaluation. So looking at your logo. Does it match your brand, the consistency, your website, check your social media, your communication, and then your perceptions of how people see you. And so I can go into detail about each of those areas if you'd like. Would that be good?
Absolutely.
Okay, so the first area that we want to look at is your mission statement. So do you have a mission statement, and is it clear? So we want to make sure that your mission statement is aligned with your business. We want to look at your mission statement needs to say who you are. It needs to take a look at what your mission is and how you do your business each day. Some questions you can ask yourself is, are you doing what you say you're doing? So sometimes with business, when we've been working for so long, you can kind of get off track. It's like you start out the business with this idea and then things kind of evolve and adapt and it can be kind of busy. And so are you still doing what you say you're going to do? Like for me, am I coaching people in the way that I want to coach? Am I being personable? Am I taking time for each person? Am I making sure that I'm clear in the messaging that I'm giving my clients? Another question people can ask themselves is, are you creating the value that you promise? So is that consistent, or has that kind of gone by the wayside? Sometimes you get so busy that you start to not always stay true to the promises that you make. And so what do you need to do? Do you need to change the promises that you make, or do you need to get a little tighter and get back to the core of what your business is and the mission that you started out with, and make sure that you're delivering what you promise? It all begins by taking a look at your mission, analyzing whether you feel you're aligned with those beliefs and what you determined when you started. And if you don't feel that that's quite accurate anymore, I know for myself, as I have adapted in my business, I'm right in the middle of rebranding myself and changing up so many things. And so that's a normal part of business. And so it's a really good chance for you to look at your mission statement and say, is this what I still feel? Is this still what I'm passionate about? Or do I need to create a new mission statement and adapt from there. So that's the first thing, is the mission statement. Do you have any comments about that or questions about a mission statement?
No.
Okay. Basically, the biggest thing is, your mission statement should say what you do and how you do it and the value you create. If you just use that as your formula, your mission is how you do it, the value you create, and that will help you create a mission statement. So the next thing to do is look at your vision. Are you getting close to your vision? So when you first start a business, usually you have an idea of what it is that you're trying to achieve or how the difference you're trying to make for people or yourself. And so take a look at that again. Is your vision where you want it to be? And is it where you want to go? And is it where you still want to go? Or has that changed for you? And then, go through and ask yourself, what steps do I need to take to move forward this year? What are even 3 to 5 things I can change and do new this year to move towards that vision and what I want to accomplish? And that makes a huge change. Sometimes we think we need to be making massive changes and massive leaps of change to get to the goal that we want to accomplish. But honestly, it doesn't have to be that overwhelming. 1 or 2 small degrees difference in the actions that we're taking will get us to where we want to be, or that much closer.
What is a plan that you think might work for people who do want to set goals in place?
That's a good question. So, it's good to take a look at, what I would suggest doing is breaking the year up by the month, and then by every 2 weeks. And then every 2 weeks, sit down and kind of work backwards. So at the end of the year, what do you want to accomplish? What's your vision for the end of 2021? And then break that up into months, what you can accomplish each month. And then every 2 weeks, smaller steps, what could you accomplish in that 2 weeks to be able to get that much closer? And so what happens is it feels attainable, it feels doable, and then just sit with yourself every 2 weeks, book it in for yourself, and plan. Okay, this next 2 weeks, I'm going to work on my branding. This next 2 weeks, I'm going to work, do more social media. This next 2 weeks, I'm going to take a little course on how to do better branding maybe, or how to do Facebook ads, and just little bite-sized things like that. And before you know it, at the end of 2021, you'll be really close or where you want to be in your business.
I feel like a lot of restaurant owners, they did go the route with social media this year, just to get their names out there, even if it's just for takeout or beverages. Just visually, people see it, they want it, they get it.
Absolutely. It really makes a difference. That's one of the things to pay attention to with your brand audit, is looking at your social media. Is it coming through? Are you being visible where people can find you? And adapting. COVID is sort of a time of sink or swim, where we need to adapt and find ways to, just like you said with the restaurants, do takeout, find ways to do deliveries, do some specials, really get yourself out there so that you still can make it through this tough time. So that's a good point. Absolutely. The next thing that I like to tell people to do is look at their audience. So, do you know who your target audience is? A lot of times, if you aren't really clear on who you're wanting to work with, then you're going to miss the marketing. So when you're doing Facebook ads and social media, Instagram, all those things, one of the questions that you put in there when you're placing your ad is, what's the age graph dynamic that you're looking for? What's the, is it females? Is it males that you're servicing? And so if you don't really know and you just put whatever, then you're not going to be making the best advertising choices, and your money's not going to go where it needs to go, and you're going to waste a lot of money. So getting really clear, who is your audience? Who is your target market? Is it men, or is it women? Are they single? Are they in their 20s? Are they in their 50s? Are they single? Are they working? Are they moms? Any of those kind of things, because then you know where to put your marketing and your advertising, where it's going to be the most received. So definitely paying attention to your audience.
Absolutely. Do you think that these resolutions are usually followed through?
You know, as a business owner, it can be really challenging, especially if you're a small business just starting out. And so it can be hard because a lot of people who are small businesses starting out, they tend to do a number of roles. You know, they're the worker bee who's servicing the clients. They're the reception who's answering and booking everything. And so it can be really easy to miss things. And that's why it's so important to do a business audit and at the beginning of the year and say, okay, where are the holes? What needs some more attention, and how can I even hire out some of these things so that you can expand to where you want to be. And I think that it's really important to take that time as a business owner to take a look at what's going on in your business and evaluate at least once a year, if not every 6 months.
All right, Amara, we're going to take a quick commercial break. So our listeners, if you do have a question for Amara, call in after the break. That number is 631-569-4579. We are talking about 2021, COVID, business plans. If you do own a business, go ahead and give us a call. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
A bold statement by wearing a custom jewelry design from Margie Cedrone, Artisan Jeweler, located at 121 Haddon Avenue in Westmont, New Jersey. Telephone number 215-384-7155. Margie Cedrone is an artisan jeweler who has been a permanent fixture on the renowned Jewelers Row in Center City, Philadelphia since 1988. Starting her business in 1982, all of Margie's designs are individually handmade as well as custom designed. She's one of the only jewelers left in the area who still crafts the finest tailor-made diamond jewelry, whether it's a statement piece or an everyday item. In addition to her one-of-a-kind designs, she specializes in pearl stringing and bead jewelry repair. Margie Cedrone Jewelry pairs nearly 30 years of experience with the building of lifelong client relationships. Dr. Jacqueline has been a client and friend of Margie Cedrone for many, many years. Each week during my show, Rapping with Dr. Jacqueline, live on Business Talk Radio, I will be featuring one of the beautiful pieces of jewelry that Margie custom made for me. I urge you to contact Margie through her website, MargieCedroneJewelry.com. Wait no longer to make your own bold statement.
Are you in need of a lifestyle change? Body Bliss by Jess can help. Jess is a certified holistic health coach with a simple, undiet approach that focuses on delicious foods, daily movement, hormone balance, and self-care. Her mission is to help you find a lifestyle where you can still enjoy the foods you love, fall in love with new ones, and never feel restricted again. For more info, check her out online, www.bodyblissbyjess.com. Give her a call at 503-351-9751 or email her, jess@bodyblissbyjess.com. And don't forget to check out her Instagram at bodyblissbyjess. Body Bliss by Jess. Real life, real results. Is your computer slow? Seeing strange pop-ups? You could have a computer infection. Call Computer and Internet Help. A certified malware removal specialist will make your computer healthy and fast again. Most importantly, at an affordable price. Call Computer and Internet Help at 239-567-0104. That's 239-567-0104. Or email them at pccoach@live.com. That's pccoach@live.com. And go to their website, computerandinternethelp.com. Computerandinternethelp.com. Computer and Internet Help, making computers healthy, one at a time. Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the You are listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Welcome back. We are on with Amara Prince. If you have any questions about 2021 business owners, give us a call. That's 631-569-4579. Amara, diving right back in about the plans for 2021. It's coming up real close. Any other tips for our listeners?
Yeah, absolutely. The next thing that I would look at for business owners is to take a look at your logo. Does it still match your branding? Does it still match the audience that you have? Sometimes when you start a business and then, if you're 5-10 years down the road, it might be a little outdated or it might not serve the clients that you once did. And so that's one thing to pay attention to. I don't know if you've ever seen a business that, you can tell that it was just cheaply made or they maybe did it themselves versus one that is high end. It's sharp. It's on point. It really makes a difference to how you relate to that business and whether you trust it or not. So, putting some investment into updating your logo sometimes is a good idea, making sure that it matches your color schemes, making sure that it matches your font and the feel of what you want. You just want it to make sure it matches your target audience. For example, if your target is a high-end group where you charge high-end prices, you're going to want something that's going to be really sharp and crisp and on point. The other thing that we can work on with people is your fonts and color consistency. Have you ever seen, Natasha, a website where they have a bunch of different colors and fonts and it's just really hard to read? Have you ever come across that?
Yes, I have. Or the words kind of like fade into the background and you can't really read it.
Exactly. And then all you want to do is click off of it, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So you have a very short window of time as a business owner when someone goes onto your website before they're going to be bored or they're going to just click off of it or be annoyed. And so one of the things that really makes it easy on the eyes is making sure you have plenty of white space in the background, making sure the letters are legible, making sure it's easy to read, and making sure that the colors themselves are pleasing to the person. Have you ever heard of color psychology at all?
No, I haven't. Please describe it.
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing that to pay attention to as a business owner, you can just look up online is the psychology of color. And so different colors actually create a feeling within someone. And with a business, it's not so much, you're selling a product, but honestly, what makes someone buy from you versus the next person on their list is the feeling that they have when they are working with you or when they're looking on your website. And so if you're able to tap into the feeling that you want people to have when they come to your website, for me as a coach, I want people to feel excited. I want them to feel alive. I want them to have a feeling of vibrancy because the clients that I work with typically don't. They feel down, they feel stuck, they feel lost, and they just feel like life is dreary. So when they go on there and they see, bright pink, that it gives them a feeling of imagination, passion, creativity. It helps them with that femininity. And so that's something that they're looking for in their life. And so when they feel that and they see that, it's like in the psychology of it, they're like, oh, I like how I feel when I'm reading this and when I'm looking at this person's product. So something for business owners to do is actually pay attention to what colors are you picking. Is it just because it's what you like, or is it actually going to match the feeling of what you're trying to give your clients? So for instance, a spa might look for more blues or light grays. A blue helps with trust, security, feeling of tranquility. And so if you're in a spa where you're wanting your clients to feel really relaxed and pampered, then some really soft, calming blues or light grays help with neutrality, feeling reliable, balanced, right? So there's a lot to be said for the colors that you're picking and why you're picking them. McDonald's is super successful and they've got the bright yellow M, right? Yellow is optimism, youthfulness, happiness. And so when you see that big M, you're like, I don't know about you, but I'm just like, oh, a burger. That makes me feel happy. It's like you just automatically connect that big M with a big burger and feeling great, right? So red is like a powerful color. So definitely a lot of businesses like to use the color red. So really paying attention to the colors that you're picking, it's so much more than just what it looks like. It's definitely how it makes your client feel. And does that feeling match what you're wanting them to feel and match your business?
Is there a certain color that you say people should stay away from?
Oh, that's a good question. Red can be a tricky one. It has to be used well because it can also mean aggression. It can mean danger. It can mean warning, right? Like you think of a stop sign, it's red, right? So if you use red, it is a very powerful color. But if it's used wrong, it can also turn people off. So just being careful how you're using red. Another one that could be tricky would be orange can be a little bit of a tricky one as well. It can be energetic, it can be fun, friendly, and warm, but it also can help people, give people a feeling of frustration, strangely enough. So you don't want to overdo it with orange. That one can kind of rub people wrong as well. So it has to be used really well. So those are the two that I would be careful with. That's a good question, actually.
Does this also include labels? I know some labels are square or circle. Does shape matter too?
That's a good question. Yeah, absolutely. I would say look up that. Pinterest is a great place for business owners to go in there. Look up the color of psychology. Look up branding and the shapes. I haven't actually looked into that, but I definitely believe it absolutely makes a difference. We are people of symmetry. We like things that are symmetrical. We like things that are easy on the eyes. So as long as it's got good dimensions, it's balanced, then it's going to be a really good thing to go with. It really makes a difference to pay someone who is trained to do all these things as well. It's good for you to kind of have an idea. So when you go to that person, you can say, this is what I'm thinking, and then let them guide you on how to just rein it all in and perfect it so that it'll be exactly what you want.
Awesome. That's very interesting. I didn't think of it that way. It's a psychological thing.
Absolutely. And a lot of business owners don't. They're like, oh, I'm going to open this small business. And a lot of people are opening up small businesses just trying to, find ways to change up, make money if their current work isn't happening. A lot of people are trying to find ways to work online so that they can get into something that's COVID proof, pandemic proof, so that they'll have work no matter what. And so a lot of people I'm finding are brainstorming and trying to come up with new ways to make money, which is awesome. It can be such a great thing, but there's a lot of things that people don't think of that make such a difference. It's the difference between being professional and connecting with your client and just coming off as, someone that just threw stuff together, right? So all these little things that don't have to be difficult, but it's definitely worth looking up and reading for sure. Something else that I think is good to pay attention to is, what does your brand voice sound like? So the wording that you use on your website and your social media, does it match the message that you're trying to give people? If you're trying to be a very personable person, then talk the way you would normally talk. Don't try to be all professional and intellectual or something, because you're going to miss the mark with the clients that you want to work with. And yet, if you're someone who's very academic and the product you're selling is, it's scientific, or it's like a supplement product or something like that, you're going to want to make sure that your wording is academic, that your message is very thorough and matches the products that you're selling. So sometimes it's worth hiring a copywriter to write your web copy for you in those cases.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Amara.
Yeah, absolutely.
I learned so much today. That was a great conversation we had.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. It's, business is an exciting thing. I think that this is definitely a time where we can, look within ourselves and just see, is there something new I can do? Do I have a hidden talent that I hadn't really realized before that I've had time to search within myself with all this free time that COVID is giving us? So definitely, business is a great venture. There's a lot to it, but it's worth it. It's so rewarding to create something and help people in their lives and in their careers, and to just give back to the world in a positive way. Absolutely. So thank you for having me.
Yep, every day we live and we learn.
Absolutely, we sure do. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure speaking with you today.
Yeah, you too.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after a short commercial break.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is.
You did great.
Aw, thank